boys and girls. Welcome back to Mrs. Mueller's remote instruction outside again. Hope you had a happy Easter and maybe your Easter basket is full of eggs by now. This week I want to mention that I forgot something last week, and that is if you have bird feeders out, you also should have a source of water for the birds. Birds like fresh water every day too, just like you like fresh water. So we're going to come over this way towards our garden. One of the special plants we have in our yard is this one right here. It's called a gooseberry bush. Mr. Mueller grew up on gooseberries, so I have to make him some gooseberry pie sometimes. So I don't have a gooseberry net, so Peter Rabbit won't get caught in my net. So over here we have the Mueller square foot gardening boxes, as you can see. And Mr. Mueller found this book several years ago on square foot gardening and got excited about gardening in the city and made some 4x4 boxes. And then I always think it's good too, boys and girls, to find books about your topic. And today, or this week, ours is gardening. This is a great book about some children in the state of New Mexico that have a garden right outside their classroom. And this one is called We Are the Gardeners, and it's by Joanna Gaines and her 4 children, and it talks about them starting their own garden. So when you do square foot gardening, it's in a smaller area, and Mr. Mueller marks it off into 12 inches by 12 inches, or 1 foot by 1 foot squares. And you can probably see we've planted some things over here already that are starting to come up. And today I thought we could plant some lettuce. Now on the seed packet, it shows you what the lettuce will look like when it's mature and ready to be picked. And then on the back, it tells you when to plant it, how deep to plant it, and when you will start getting lettuce that's big enough for you to eat. So first, loosen up the soil like this with a rake. And then make a cross in the middle, like this. And then in these corners, poke a little hole, and I'm going to plant some lettuce seed. It's so teeny tiny I can hardly pick it up, but maybe 3 or 4 seeds in each hole. And be thinking about first grade, what do the seeds need in order to grow? Well, they need some good soil. They need some good sunlight. And they need some watering. So I'm also going to show you how to plant some green beans today. These are pole beans, so they'll grow up the fence here. And you just, again, loosen up the soil where you want to plant them. So here are the bean seeds. And you plant them about 1 inch deep, about 4 inches apart. So I'm going to plant 3 in these 2 boxes and cover them up with a little bit of dirt. And then I'm going to give them some water. Now, if you don't have a garden spot, you can do container gardening. You just take some of your mom's flower pots, put some good soil in it. This is just some composting potting soil that we got at Westlakes. So put some soil in the bottom. And in these I'm going to plant some seed potatoes. Our family really likes seed potatoes. So put the flat side where you cut, put it down in the pot like that. And then cover it up. with about another 8 inches of soil. They like to be planted pretty deep, and then pat it down. This is a different kind of potato. It's a Yukon Gold potato, and those are called the eyes of the potato. That's the part that will come up out of the soil and be a nice big plant. They'll get probably about 2 to 3 feet tall, and they will have some flowers on them too, but they're busy making potatoes underground for you. Now let's water them good, like this. And then I gotta water my box over here where I planted some lettuce, and then along the fence line here where I planted some whole beans. So now you can see my plants better here that are coming up out of the ground. Mr. Mueller and I planted these about a week and a half ago, I think, so they're already up. So now I'd like Mr. Mueller to follow me down this way. So here's some more boxes that we planted potatoes in. And then we usually plant tomatoes here, the kind that can crawl up the fence here. And then down here we have a bed of chives. Now these plants are neat because they stay green all summer long pretty well. Have pretty purple flowers on them, but they taste great on baked potatoes or in scrambled eggs. And then I'm going to show you that you don't have to start from seeds. You can buy a seedling from a garden center, and again, read the back of the card because it tells you how deep to plant it. So it says to plant it in full sun, about 4 inches deep. Now you got to get it out of this container, so you just put it upside down, tap it a couple times, and it should fall right out. And it's not. There we go. So we want to put that in there about 4 inches deep, put some soil around it, and then I'll go back later and water it. And these little tags you can leave by the plant because it'll tell you what it is, just in case you forgot what you planted. So, boys and girls, gardening reminds me of a Bible verse. It's in 1 Corinthians 3, verse 6. And Paul wrote these words. And he said, I planted, Apollos watered, but God caused the increase. So the soil, the dirt, represents our heart. Our heart can be soft, like this soil, or it can be hard, or even rocky. Well, the seeds represent the gospel. Probably somebody came along in your life and planted some seeds in your heart. They told you about Jesus. And then the water represents the Holy Spirit. We need to be watered and daily fed by the Holy Spirit so that we'll grow. And then the sunlight, you probably guessed, represents Jesus, the Son of God, the light of the world. So this week, boys and girls, or even in the next coming weeks, I'd like you to plant something, either in a pot or in a garden spot, and then show me maybe with a picture or video what's been growing. I'll show you my garden again in a few weeks, and we'll see what's growing in this garden. Parents, I want to remind you that we're going to have a Zoom meeting on Wednesday of this week. So go to your email and click on the address, and it should bring you right to Zoom. But please help your children with that. And this week is also Spirit Week, so each day there's a theme, and I know one day the theme is wear your Mizzou colors. So anyway, maybe you could send some pictures to Stephen McBee if you participated in the Spirit Week. So I think that's all for now. We'll see you next week.